How's it going? I'm the Real Manos, and I am going to review some comic books I read last week. And I'm a little late. I apologize. I've been very unmotivated, and I feel like I may have said that in the last couple of videos. So forgive me. I'm still kind of trying to get back on my legs here as far as doing videos. Don't worry, I'm okay. I've actually been very, very productive in other matters. I've been working very hard on the Red Knight comic. Issue 5 is coming out this week on Wednesday. I think it's April 28th, and it's going to be available at Manos Publishing and print and digital. So you can check it out there. Brand new issue. He fights Dr. Sci-Fi, a kind of loser villain who's kind of like licking his wounds and kind of rebuilding his has-been career, and he unfortunately picks Red Knight City to do it in. So the fun starts here in print and digital. So hey, let's get going. I bought a lot of stuff last week. Last week was a really big week for me, and I'll show you what I picked up. And I'm actually going to start with more independent books this time around, and then build to Marvel. This past week I should say, I picked up C.H.E.S.S. #1, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 116, Radiant Black #3, what do we got here, Spider-Woman #11, Amazing Spider-Man 64, Captain Marvel #28, and lastly, Champions #6. And this is a new creative team that's taken over the book, and they have like the guns a-blazing. It's pretty good. But I will get to that in just a moment. Let's first start with C.H.E.S.S. #1. Now, I have talked about this very issue in the past. This comic was with, it was briefly with Short Fuse, went to Apogee, and is now relaunching with Second Sight Publishing, and they've gone the whole 9 yards. It's available through Diamond Distributing, so you can actually get this and order this at a comic book store. You don't have to go to the creators themselves like you do for me. This is a real deal comic book now, so it's on the shelf, so you can get it. I'm very proud of these guys. They worked very hard. And for those of you who don't know, it is created by Alfred Page, and let's see, it's co-written by Alex DeGrunchi, and the art here is J.C. Fubal, and let's see, and the inks, let's see. And so, to briefly explain what the book is, it's a team of super soldiers, not too dissimilar to like old classic G.I. Joe, maybe a little bit of, I'm going to go for more Marvel, maybe a little bit more like Suicide Squad or perhaps X-Force, for instance. You know, that kind of like super soldier type of storyline. And it's a team. We got Blowtorch, we got Footpath, who is kind of a martial artist type of character. Let's see, we also got Heart, and there's a robot. Let's see, Infrared. And they all work out of this special base in the mountains here. Now, the first story arc deals with this arms dealer who has been selling weapons to governments and contractors all over the world, and they're supposed to be the best super weapons you could ever imagine. They're sci-fi level. Problem is, he's a bit of a bitch about it, and if you don't make your payments, if you cross him, if you irritate him in any way, he will shut off the weapons. That's what makes them so like dangerous. Is like if he has a problem with you, done. He pushes a button and you're screwed if you're in the middle of a situation. He also has this team of sketchy super people. One of them it looks like they're led by this little girl, and we'll get more about her later on. Well, they start to, let's see, I should say Hart gets one of the characters, Pinpoint, out of a bar. This is actually my favorite scene in the issue, is because, there's a meeting. They gotta go. Do fight and stuff. And he is just sitting on his ass in a bar. And Hart goes to get him, and he goes, "Look, I've been busy, and you're drunk." "Yeah, I've been busy getting drunk." So she doesn't really take to that too well. So she just drags him to the meeting. There's some nice kind of dialogue, kind of getting known to. But first off, the plot and the situation and the exposition. But we get to know some of the characters on the way there. Like Infrared is a robot, not a cyborg or anything like that. He's just pure robot. And being bored, he's just like analyzing the plane, which is actually another cool bit in here. He talks about how there's a 0.27% chance of a catastrophic event. Let's see, the guys he's talking to was like, well, it's not very comforting, really. So anyway, we get into a lot of action here at the end as they investigate. Things go bad, and the leader of the mission apparently is kind of got his own little agenda, because he corners one of the henchmen, and the henchman goes, okay, I'll tell you everything. And you have this gunshot go off, and he goes, gave me no choice. So he's up to no good. Also, the leader of the arms dealer, the evil arms dealer, apparently his daughter is his little, 10-year-old daughter with the psychic powers in the helmet. He's kind of pushed her to be the leader of this group, so he's definitely up to some really sketchy stuff. The art actually is really nicely done. I really dig this. It's got some really good coloring and shading too. So if you can dig this up, if you can order it, go to your local comic book store and see if they can get, anything from Second Sight, but specifically C.H.E.S.S. It's a really good book. They have another book called The Edge, which I've talked about before, and I'll talk about again once it officially comes out. So it's really nice to see these guys hit big with this, and give them a chance. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 Ram Chips. Now, let's go to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And we're up to 116. And that's still being done by Sophie Campbell and Rhonda Patterson. And Sophie's doing the art and writing. And if it's not the original creators doing Ninja Turtles or Tom Waltz, I am perfectly fine with her doing it for the rest of existence. She really does feel like she is born to draw in this universe and these characters, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I won't get too deep into this plot because we're sort of going through this Days of Future Past type of time travel story, where Janika kind of learns that, all hell breaks loose in the future, and part of it is due to the fact that she quit the band and became an assassin full time and reverted to her killing ways. So we're kind of doing like a little Bill and Ted here, which is wonderful. So Bebop and Rocksteady are back, and they've kicked her girlfriend's band out of the club, and they challenged them to a battle of the bands. So they build a band together to kind of kick them back out of the club. And it's quite possible the future depends on how they succeed in this battle of the bands, which is pretty great. The art's really great as always. I absolutely adore her renditions of the Turtles, Bebop and Rocksteady. I really like her April, and I know on Twitter she's mentioned April was one of the characters she took a while to kind of figure out, her look, but man, I really dig her take on April. So absolutely love this. 5 out of 5 Ram Chips, gorgeous stuff. Ninja Turtles are great. I basically consider the IDW universe my Ninja Turtles. It's fantastic. So, hey, let's go to Image. And Image has Radiant Black. This is Kyle Higgins. Let's see, Marcello Acosta. And this is the 3rd issue of their superhero title. I read issue 1. I did skip issue 2. I thought I was not going to continue the book, but I kind of got sucked back in. So back over this book. And Nathan is I guess you could say, what's really kind of drawn me is the fact that he's a superhero who's also a writer, and it's like, oh, guy, you got me. Okay, I'm not made of stone, and he's kind of set himself going with the whole superhero thing. It's like, okay, I think I'm doing this superhero thing, but I also still want to write, and he is blocked, and the blockage feels very familiar and very. It feels very honest as to where Kyle Higgins is writing. So he just keeps going and going, and he just finds ways to divert himself. And he goes sees his buddy Marshall, who knows he's a superhero, and Marshall's trying to figure out a name for himself. There's a funny funny bit where he's drawing a whole bunch of ideas, and he's scratching out all these names, oh, that's bad, but I really should try it for design work. I'm really good at this. And they kind of hit on maybe calling himself Radiant Black, which is really cool. He goes out once again after another dream sequence, and he just goes and looks for trouble, and he actually finds not so much a big bank robbery or major disaster or anything like that. It's because Marshall created a Twitter handle for him, and somebody answers it. They need help, so he was like, okay, let me just go do that. And it was a family whose tire blew out, and they're on the side of the road in a snowstorm, and it sucks for them. And he goes and answers it, and the son actually was it the son or the daughter? It was the son. He gave it a shot. Hey, you know what? I saw this thing on Twitter. Maybe he'll answer it. So he does. He can't get the tire fixed because he doesn't know how to change a tire. So he just carries them to their destination, which is really fun. I really dig this book, and I'm really kind of enjoying the character here. And that's one of the things that really sucks me into a superhero book is not the badass action stuff, which is great, don't get me wrong, but I got to feel for your character. I got to really find them relatable and approachable, and I got to kind of love them. And okay, you're kind of on your way of making me like this character a lot. I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 Graham Chips. Now, we're going to jump back over to Marvel, and we got Spider-Woman number 11, and this stuck out to me. We have a new story arc, and they put great jumping on point. Hey, Marvel, that's right. You can put just jumping on point on the cover. You don't have to renumber the book. And, I'm really proud of you for doing that. And just, hey, didn't we used to do that? Didn't back in the 70s we would just put jumping on point on our books? Yeah, that's right. We didn't start over, every 12 issues. Let's see. What do we got here? Carla. Let's see. Carla. Pacheco? Oh, sorry. I apologize. Pierre Perez is the artist. And, okay, Jessica is kind of rebuilding. She's getting rid of the black costume she had from the previous arc. She's kind of mad at the person who set her up with that costume because they knew about the problems with it, and they were paid not to tell her. So she trusts her to set her up with a new costume. She goes out with Ronnie, and Ronnie has something he wants to tell her, and unfortunately these jerks break up the event. They're causing a big commotion. They robbed a bank across the street, and Jessica jumps into action in her old costume. It's been redefined a little bit. There's some new, the wings are sharp, and she has these lights that spark out. They're really bright. And I gotta say, I've grown to really love the action Carla and Pierre puts into this series. Some of my favorite fights have been in this book in the last, year. Yeah, it's really fast-paced action. The fighting looks choreographed. It's really cool. And just look at these pages. It's just really good. This one, and I think Black Widow also has some really good fight sequences. So anyway, she defeats one of the brothers and captures him, and the other one gets away, and she's going to make some plans to go dig up that guy and find him. Meanwhile, we realize that Ronnie, he was going to ask Jess to marry him, and that's been put off. So I don't know. Maybe I'll ask him tomorrow. Maybe I'll ask her tomorrow. This is really sweet. This is really great. The art and dialogue and the writing, it's just really good stuff. I'm really this may be my favorite run on Spider-Woman. Possibly. It's very, very good. So I'm going to give this, let's see, I think I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 RAM chips. Very strong 4 out of 5 RAM chips. So let's get over to Amazing Spider-Man 64, and we're still big into that King's Ransom story. We got Nick Spencer and Federico Vincentini doing the work here. And yeah, we're still into the big roommate saga. And I gotta say, as much as we've talked about Kindred over the last couple of years, I actually kind of like the roommate saga a little bit more because, okay, one roommate is dating the Beetle, who is the daughter of Tombstone, and he is the son of Robbie Robinson. And those guys are huge enemies, so that's a big problem. The other roommate is the Boomerang, and he has this alien pet, and he's been pissing off every major bad guy in town because he has been reverting from a bad guy to, a good guy since the Hydra Cap storyline, Secret Empire? No, that's something Empire. Whatever. It was. Now I can't even remember. It was, Nazi Cap story that not everybody liked. So, but it did work out very well for Boomerang. So he's been kind of turning over a new leaf. By the way, Vincentini's art is really nice. Everybody talks about Bagley or Gleason, and he is the third artist on this series, and I think his stuff is really special. Love it a lot. So I'm not going to get too much into this, except for Boomerang looks like he's going to make the big sacrifice play that you usually see superheroes do at the end of this. So I'm very curious where this is going. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 RAM chips. Really good issue. Now let's go to Captain Marvel, and that's number 28, and it's Strange Magic, and this is a 3-parter. Kelly Thompson and let's see, Jacopo Campanaghi. By the way, the art's really nice. Now we're picking up from that big story arc where Carol went to the future and found out in 2052 that there was some kind of like post-apocalyptic event. It's been kind of in repair, and they're starting to like make things better, but millions and billions of people died, and she kind of blames herself for this. She's come back from the past. She's come back from the future, and one of the first things she did was break up with Rhodey because she met Rhodey's daughter, and Rhodey's daughter is not her daughter, so she is afraid of, like, if they continue their relationship, she wouldn't exist. And she's also afraid of this apocalypse that might happen. Now, there is a character that escaped from that and could be the one that causes this. And he is, oddly enough, Namor's son. Let's see, Av? I think it's Av. And he's kind of like Namor with the training wheels taken off. He is like all evil, all in on Namor. So he is loose in the world in the present, and he used magic, and that's kind of all she knows, and that's not her strong suit. And she just slept with a magic guy, so she goes back. Actually, it's Jessica's idea, not knowing that they slept together, only finding out until it was too late. So she starts in with Stephen Strange and was like, "Hey, can you, I don't know, teach me magic?" And he's going, "No. Well, I mean, I have a school for that, but no, I'm not going to teach you magic. And what you're trying to do is a little bit complicated. What you want this all too soon, and we can't get there. It takes years of training." And she essentially says, "Well, I mean, I gotta do this if you aren't gonna do it." Like, she goes to other major magic users until she just gives up and goes, "Okay, I gotta see the Enchantress." So yeah, it's totally within Carol's character to like get all obsessed with something she feels like she must control. And yeah, it's actually really believable that, yeah, look, you go to the future and it's all torn up and you come back. Yeah, that's going to affect you. So she's going to do her best to kind of figure out like how to prevent that. Hopefully not causing it in the first place in the way of trying to prevent it. So yeah, this is really fun. I love it a lot. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 Ram chips. Good issue. Now we're getting to, finally, Champions, number 6. Once again, not renumbering. And by the way, I am congratulating Marvel for not renumbering a book at issue 7. Oh, that's how bad it's gotten. Danny Lore, and let's see, Luciano. God, that's awful. You know, you think I'd be able to pronounce these names. Luciano Vecchio. I apologize. That's bad. I'm gonna just call him LV. I didn't even make that right. LV. Anyway, okay. Hey, you know, the outlaw thing is over, and the senator said, "Hey, I'm gonna like take back the law and don't worry about it." And look, you know, that's not how law works. The law still is technically on the books. They're going to do a revote. It looks like they have the votes to rescind the law, but it's still in action. So they're back together, but they're kind of still off the books in the superhero community. And that causes some problems because they go to, take out these bad guys, and they were actually working a special mission to test a security system. They weren't thieves at all. So that's really frustrating and embarrassing. So they're all pissed off about it. To the point where Ironheart might, quit. Meanwhile, Roxxon, who was the cause of their problems in the first place, they've hired this consultant. What's her name here? Blakemore. Miriam Blakemore, and she has been kind of hired to restructure their image and kind of like do the apology tour and make things better with teenagers and stuff. By the way, if you don't know too much about Roxxon, Roxxon is basically Marvel's parody of Exxon. So, Exxon isn't that cool and down with the kids. So you can imagine their problem. They've created this app that seems a little bit fishy and shady, like apps are in real life. They've even hired this other guy who is someone who's fought Ironheart in her previous run. As a matter of fact, Blakemore is kind of suspicious of him. And Ironheart was kind of like maybe on the way of maybe quitting the Champions until she saw this. And she was like, okay, screw this. Okay, I've got to get this guy. This is pissing me off. So the team decides to kind of infiltrate and kind of fight them on terms of the internet. Like, if Roxxon wants to really go after kids on the internet, well, hey, there are kids on the internet, so they're up for that fight. Meanwhile, of course, Roxxon's putting together some robot project thing. Of course, why wouldn't they? Their stupid, evil corporation. This was really wonderful. The art is gorgeous. I really do enjoy the art. It has this animated look to it. Really nice. Let's see, Danny Lore really gets these characters. Let's see, there's a lot of Kamala Khan in here, and we're in between books right now. I assume they're relaunching her new book when the TV series pops up in a few months. So right now she doesn't have a book. This is the only way you can see her. And I feared we wouldn't see any of her supporting characters, but sure enough, we see Bruno hanging out with her in this issue. So that's really cool. I hope we can see more of her supporting cast over the next couple of issues. They won't be lost in time until the book comes back. This is great. I'm very happy, and I'm also happy that the previous story arc isn't being swept under the rug and it's still causing them problems. Nice stuff. I'm going to give this 4 out of 5 Ram chips. Really dug it a lot. So, hey, those are the books I read last week, and I really liked them. Did you read them? Let me know in the comments below. And it really does help me out. It does help my algorithms and shit like that. So, you can go ahead and go nuts. Tell me what you read this week. Is there anything you'd like me to read? Anything you'd like me to recommend to me? And maybe I'll talk about it on the channel. Because I'm tired of being unmotivated, and I think I'm probably going to be doing more videos, and probably changing things up a little bit. And we'll see. I might be adapting my old style to this channel, because I've been trying to be a little bit slick over the last few years, and it doesn't work, and it's not me, and screw that. I just want to talk. So I'll talk to you guys. So hey, you can like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for all things Manos, and you can also check me out at the various links. I'm at Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram. I'm kind of everywhere. And hey, one more thing. Red Knight, number 5, issue 5 comes out this week. Dr. Sci-Fi issue. It's me, it's JC Grande, and there's a backup story by the wonderful James Harmon. So check it out. You will be happy you did. And you can get this in print and digital over at Manos Publishing. So, hey, that's all I got for now. Push the button, Lindsay.